heartbreak that rocked me to a point where I could have joined a cult if they promised me healing. If they promised me that I was going to be okay, I would have joined a cult. I would have sold my organs. I would have done anything to make sure that I survived that heartbreak. Hi guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. This past weekend, I spent a lot of time with a couple of friends and there's a conversation that, sparked that basically we are nearing the end of the year. Like the year is done and I can't remember who from my friends who said, but what have I done? What have I achieved? And it hit me, no guys, we are so hard on ourselves. So that sparked an idea. I've actually done what I'm gonna talk about now. I've actually spoken about it in my previous vlogs, but I didn't go into details. I just probably touched on it. So I figured that I'll just do a video dedicated to basically what, I don't even know what I'm gonna, how I'm gonna position this, but I just thought I'd do a whole video on not so being hard on yourself about the year is ending and how I'm trying my best to not do that and how maybe you can join me. I don't know if I'm making sense. So you guys, I brought props. One is my vision board that I did with my mommy group we call ourselves the Holistic Mothership. There's 4 of us in the group. There's a whole video of us doing this in January earlier this year. I'll link it below if you care to watch it. And I also brought this book that I started writing on it in 2019. I'm not much of a, like when you go through things, a lot of people love to journal their thoughts, their feelings or whatever. I'm not that person because I'm a writer for a living. I write for a living. So when I get home, I don't want to see a Microsoft Word. I don't want to see a notebook or notepad. I don't want to see none of that. But in 2019, when I was 4 months pregnant with Milani, my life literally turned upside down. October 2019, I'll never forget. My life literally turned upside down from one phone call. And at that point, I was so heartbroken that I didn't know what to do with myself. I was, heartbreak that rocked me to a point where I could have joined a cult if they promised me healing. Gosh, 3 years later, I'm still trying to survive that heartbreak. But when I went through all of that, I started writing, but I wasn't journaling my feelings. I'm not someone who likes talking about my feelings. I will tell you, I'm not a secretive person. I'm not a private person for sure. You guys probably know everything about my life. But I am not a person who talks about feelings. I struggled with that. Yesterday or sometime this weekend, a friend of mine was checking up on me. And one of her questions, she sent a couple of questions, and one of her questions was, how are you feeling? I think I responded to everything except that question, but I wasn't even conscious that I wasn't responding to her question until she responded and said, okay, you've answered everything except how you're feeling. And I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. If you ask me how am I feeling, I don't know. But I'm very good at telling people my stories. I'm very good at telling you, yay, this is what happened, this is how it happened, this is when it happened, but ask me how it made me feel. I think at most I can say I was hurt, but I don't know how to get into details with my feelings. So that's why I struggle with journaling. So this book, when I started writing on it, nothing here is about my feelings, nothing here is journaling, nothing, absolutely nothing. But we'll get to this one. But I thought I would go through my vision board that I did with my friends earlier this year and just look at it, and also just look at how far I've come when it comes to the things that I wanted to do or I set myself up to do for this year. And hopefully that makes you feel better also about how far you've come. So let's start with the vision board. I'm going to try to explain what each picture meant and how far I am, if anything at all, and then we'll get to the book a bit later. I did a vision board actually in 2014. But now that I think about it, everything in that vision board was just ridiculous. I had put there that I wanted a car by the end of the year, and not just any car. I wanted a big bodied BMW. I had a mansion. I had a body. Whose body did I have now? I think I had like Megan Good's body. I wanted Megan Good's body. Yeah, it was Megan Good was my reference. And at that time I was a size 36. And I was just like, and then obviously I couldn't get or achieve any of those things by the end of the year. And I was so heartbroken and I gave up on vision boards. But I was thinking about it, I was just like, why, when I knew at that time that I was a size 36, would I think I was going to pressure myself into being a size, Megan Good looks like a size 28, 30 in a year, you know? Why, when I knew exactly the salary I was earning, that I thought I would be driving a big bodied BMW by the end of the year? So I think Nama was just being ridiculous with my vision board, and I learned from that. So when my friends and I decided to do this one this year, I was just like, I'm going to be as realistic as possible so that I don't break my own heart by putting unattainable goals when I know my salary bracket or when I know what I can and cannot achieve. So I'm gonna start with this one. This is a picture of a woman at a solo vacation. I haven't had a solo vacation. I don't think I'm gonna have a solo vacation before the end of the year, but I did have a solo date last week. So basically, I achieved this in November. You know, so basically that's what I'm trying to say. Uguti, there's still time to do some of the things that you thought that you wanted to do this year. This is a picture of a woman with her 2 daughters. And they're eating pancakes. The pancakes are not part of my vision board, but I am glad that I attempted to make pancakes 2 weeks ago and they didn't turn out bad. But they look like they are on holiday. So my vision was, before the year ended, I wanted to take my kids away for, like, even if it's just down the road, just like get away, be outside the house. But unfortunately, because I quit my job, I did save a little bit of money for this specific trip. The money I had been making from YouTube, I was saving it, obviously using half of it, and 50% of it I was saving it for my trip with my girls. But with quitting my job and freelancing, I've had to dip into my savings, because the thing about freelancing is it's great, you own your time or whatever, but unfortunately, you will always be chasing invoices. You will always be asking, hi, I'm following up on my invoice. When can I expect payment? Like on Friday or last week, Tuesday, I sent an invoice to someone I did work for. Friday, hi, when is this invoice being processed? Nothing. I know they're gonna pay because I've been freelancing for them for some time, but it's just that thing, which unfortunately with freelancing, you don't have a payday like the 25th like everyone else. So I've had to take some of my savings and use them to pay my debit orders, rent, and school fees and stuff like that. So unfortunately, going away with my girls this year is not going to happen because, as mentioned, I've had to dip into my savings because of the decision I made to quit my job. Unfortunately, I think I'm like very, very close to running out on my savings, but it's still going to happen. Maybe not this year, but it's definitely going away with my children. Like, as a result, you guys, I'm even like trying to get them passports. Like, that's how serious I am. And as much as the trip we're gonna take is not gonna be an international one, but getting them passports for me makes me feel like, okay, we're one step closer. So this particular picture in this vision board hasn't, come to fruition, but it will. Not this year though, definitely not this year. We are already on the 2nd week of November, so not gonna happen. Then I have a picture of a lady. This lady looks like she's working from home, but the picture that I put her is just a lady with her laptop and her plants and her phone, drinking coffee or tea, whatever she's drinking. But this picture for me symbolized me being serious about my work. When we did this vision board, I was 3 months into the job that I quit. So I was enjoying it. I saw myself being with this company for a very long time. But the reason why I put this on my vision board is because this company I was working for, what I was doing there is something I had never done for any company before. So I felt as if I had so much to learn, and I wanted to be serious about learning so that I can excel in my job. And I wanted to be serious about actually just putting my 100% effort in the job that I'm doing and see what's gonna happen. This is a picture of someone of a salad. Then we have YouTube. When we did this vision board, we did it in January. I think it was the 2nd week of January, And let me tell you something, it was the third week of January. You guys, I probably had, I only got my 1,000 subscribers in end of January, if not February. So I had less than 1,000 subscribers when we did this vision board. And I just put this YouTube thing because I just put here that I wanted to grow on YouTube. I didn't define what growth meant on YouTube. I thought for me, growing meant having 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch time so I can start getting paid. I never in a million years thought that growth would be having 28,000 subscribers. Not by the end of this year anyway. I thought that, I didn't even think I would have 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I was obviously gunning for 1,000, but I was just like, maybe if I got like 3,000 to 5,000, I'd be fine. I thought that 28,000 subscribers maybe in 2 or 3 years. But it has happened, and obviously I have you guys to thank for that. Thank you for always sharing my comments, liking, commenting, because just by you pressing a like on my video, it helps the algorithm, it helps YouTube recommend me, because it just puts me in a place where people see more of me. So I'm extremely happy about that. This is a picture of a woman drinking tea, coffee, or whatever is in her cup, surrounded by her plants. I'm not sure when I did this vision board where my head was at about this picture, but I think it just meant a little bit of self-care, because this is how I define self-care. Sit, drink, maybe not coffee, and just be around my plants and be around nature and be around things that make me feel good. So I think this is why I had this picture here. And I have to say that, you know what, I have had moments where I have been alone, and I have had moments where I've enjoyed my company and I've enjoyed a little bit of self-care. So not doing bad here as well. This picture is a lady with a little girl buying plants or bringing in plants, and I've bought way more plants this year than I ever have in my entire life. So I wanted to bring more plants. I wanted to buy more plants. I wanted every room in this house to have plants, and it does. My dining, my lounge, my kitchen, all the bathrooms have plants. Alonda's room, my room, every room in this house has plants, and I am proud of myself. Here we have a girl who is doing yoga. I think she's doing yoga or she's stretching. It looks like yoga. As mentioned earlier on, that in my first vision board that I did in 2014, I had a picture of Megan Good. Unrealistic for me and my body type. So this year I was very intentional about finding a picture of a girl that looks like me. I mean, this girl, the only difference between me and this girl is that she's got a flat tummy. I don't yet. But I used this picture specifically because I felt like she had a real natural body. Her thighs here, maybe you can't see it from the camera, but she's got cellulite and she's got stretch marks, and that's what I have. So I was just like, I'm going to put this picture here, and this represented me wanting to take care of my body more. The reason why I didn't put a picture of a girl in gym with a six-pack and like ripped and cut and nicely toned is because I don't want to put pressure on myself, and I don't want that to scare me, because I don't think I'll ever have a six-pack. I don't want a six-pack, but I do want to have a toned body. I do want to be healthy. I do want to take care of myself more, and I felt as if this picture represented that more than me putting a picture of a girl in gym with like a nice six-pack, because that's not really something that I think that I can get to. Then I have this thing. It's a weekly planner. Can you tell you guys, I'm one of the worst people on earth when it comes to planning. One of my friends in that group, her name is Tato. Guys, Tato has a calendar. Whenever you want to meet with her, she has to check her calendar. Her calendar could be full till next year, July. And I'm always just like, babe, how do you know what you're doing in January? I don't even know what I'm doing this weekend. But like, I've got a friend who knows what she's doing in 3 months' time. So I was just like, maybe I must start being this person. Like literally for me, unless it's someone's birthday, I can, like right now, I know on the 27th of November, it's my mom's birthday. I need to block that weekend off. I wanted to try to be a planner, and I failed dismally. I haven't planned anything this year. I haven't planned anything. I don't have a planner. I don't put things in my calendar. I have failed. My sister even bought me one of those planners that you stick on the fridge to write. The only thing I write in that calendar is my children's important dates for school. Like if Alwande has a soccer match, then we write it there. Okay, next week Saturday, Alwande has a soccer match. If Milani has a school play, then we write it there. Okay, Milani has a school play. But anything that has to do with me and my friends, my outside life, outside these children, We're gonna try this again next year. And this picture is a picture of a camera. I started my YouTube last year and I've been using a phone since. The camera I want is about 20 grand. I don't think that, well, I don't have it, so this vision is not visioning. I don't have the camera, but I'm okay with not having a camera. I'm still able to give you guys good quality content. I hope it's good quality. I'm still able to give you guys good quality content with my phone. But you know what, it's fine. It's just one of those things where I'm okay with not having a camera for now. This time next year I would love to have one, so I'm going to try to save, but kunzima, you guys, because I have got my children's school fees, like there's so many things that going away with these children, there's so many things that I always have to save for. So I don't know if I'll ever have a camera, but it's on my vision board. But it's one of those things where I haven't been able to get myself this year. So another fail. But maybe let me not use the word fail, but it's just I haven't gotten it. This is a picture of books. I wanted to start reading more. It's November and I haven't read one book this year. So another. This is a picture of a girl outside painting. It represented me. I wanted to create more. I have to say though, this year I have, last week Alonda and I had a painted sip. Earlier this year I did paint something. So I've done 2 paintings this year. And I'm okay with that. I'm proud of myself for even being able to do those 2 because I never have time for myself or things that I want to do by myself. This one is a picture of a very, very beautiful woman with 2 very, very beautiful children, and she's pouring water on their heads. And for me, it represented nurturing my children, helping them grow, being intentional about being their mother, being a present mom, and just being the most amazing mom that I know how to be. This is what this picture represented. Sometimes I do feel like I'm not doing that much of a great job because it's just so hard to be a human being, be a mom, be a working person, be a friend, be a sister, be all of these things. And sometimes one falls, and I try my best to make sure that the one that gets short is not my children. But sometimes I do have some moments that I'm not proud of when it comes to parenting my children this year, but I think that I have more moments that I'm proud of than I have those that I'm not proud of. So we're doing okay. So I think I am doing a good job when it comes to nurturing them and being there for them and just like doing things with them, for them, and making sure that they always feel my love and my presence. This is a picture, it's just a picture, this is 4 women, I think it's 4 women. They're just having a conversation, but this picture for me represented friendships. I wanted to be more intentional and more present in my friends' lives. I've got, you know what, Mina, when it comes to friends, I think God was just like, girl, I'm going to give you the most amazing friends. I feel like I literally woke up at 3 a.m. to go choose friends because I've got the most amazing friends and I've got the most patient friends. From people that I've made friendships with this year, some of you guys I've actually made friendships with this year. I was very intentional about putting myself out there, making new friends, but also nurturing the old friendships that I have. And I have to say that I wouldn't have been able to do this if my friends were not patient with me. But also, I also do think that it helps that we are, like I'm 33 now, and there are some people that I've been friends with since I was 23. There's some people I've been friends with since I was 15. I do feel like I'm very grateful that we are all in points of our lives where we all recognize that we really don't have much time for each other. For me, my time goes into my children. My other friends who don't have children, their time goes into their relationships, their marriages, whatever it is. So when we do see each other, even if it's once a year or twice a year, it's still exciting and no one feels as if, oh, you're not present or you're not this. And another thing that I've done is that the minute I think about someone, I call them or I text them. So that has helped with maintaining my old friendships and the new friendships that I've created this year. I'm also doing my best to maintain them. So this basically picture represented just me nurturing the relationships I have with all the women in my life. And I'm gonna cry if I start talking about my friends, but I've done this, and nurturing my children have been the top two in the things that I wanted to do this year, and I'm proud of myself that I was able to get to it. Then I have a dollar signs because I wanted the money. And then this one is it's not really like something I wanted to achieve. It's just something I felt like I needed to put. It's written unapologetically black, and that's who the fuck I am. An unapologetically black queen, and that's who I'll continue to be for the rest of my life. So I wanted to start with this one because these are just the things that I thought that I wanted to do this year, and most of them are very I knew I was very intentional with this vision board. I knew that I just wanted to, isn't that I was going to be attainable, so that I'm not hard on myself come December and I'm sitting here thinking, what have I achieved in the past 12 months? I can safely always go back to this and say, I've achieved one, I've achieved two, I've achieved, there's things I can actually point and say, I have achieved. So if you find yourself in a space where you're asking yourself, Guti, it's nearing the end of the year. What have I done with my life? What have I achieved? Firstly, please stop. I know it's easier said than done, but don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. It's been a rough year. Actually, since 2020, the past 2 years have been extremely hectic. So do give yourself some grace. The fact that you're still alive and you're breathing and you're waking up is okay. But I do suggest that if you are that type of person who comes end of the year, feels like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? Maybe then when the year ends or when the year begins, do like a smaller vision board like this one. It doesn't have to be in pictures like this. I know people have vision boards on their phone, which helps because you see it every day. I can't remember who, I think it was my sister, I can't remember who had their vision board as their wallpaper, so you literally see it every 2 seconds. This one is in my bedroom. It's the first thing I see when I wake up, and it's the last thing I see when I sleep. So take it, use it, don't use it, but I just thought that let me just show you guys this quickly, and let's move on to this. There is though, I don't know if I want to do this because there is a whole video of me reading this word for word and telling you guys how far I've come. But if you don't want to go back to that video, I'm just gonna pick 4 or 5 things in this book that I wrote in 2019, 2020. Yeah, that's when I was most active in this book, 2019, 2020. And maybe also just tell you guys how far I am with those things, if I'm winning, if I'm not, Let's open. Okay guys, so as mentioned, I started writing in this book in 2019 when I was rocked by a hectic heartbreak, and I was pregnant. I was 4 months pregnant. Whew. If you at that time would have told me that one day I would be able to sit, maybe not laugh about it because I still can't, but I never thought I'd ever be okay from what I went through. It's one thing, you guys, to go through, not to minimize people's heartbreaks, but it's one thing to go through a heartbreak. It's another thing to go through a heartbreak while you're pregnant. Going through someone deceiving you and breaking your heart into pieces when you are pregnant with your child is just so hard because, I had to protect this life inside me while trying to figure out how the hell. Guys, I don't need to tell you about heartbreak. Heartbreak feels like it's shattering. It feels like you can't breathe. It feels, Anyway, okay. So the first page on this book, I wrote 2 things that I'd like to live by. And the first one is, we must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. This for me is by Joseph Campbell. This quote for me at that time meant everything, because it was such a double barrel meaning. Because yes, they say let go of the life that you plan so you can accept the life that's waiting for you, but on the same breath, I literally had a breathing life inside me that I was waiting for. So it made so much, and I've been living like this since. Literally, I have let go. I haven't, there's not much that I planned, but at the time I didn't plan on raising Milani by myself. So having to let go of that idea and just accept that it's not going to happen, but it will get better. Best thing that I ever best quote I ever read at that time. And so these are just quotes that I used to write whenever I'd be feeling some type of way. There's beauty in struggle. No, I don't know why I wrote this. There is no beauty in struggle. Guys, Moko, wish you will write everything to make yourself feel better. Hey, I like it. And then I wrote my financial goals for 2020. I wanted to pay off my credit card. I wanted to save towards a new place. I wanted to have an extra 10K for December holidays. I wanted to have enough money for rainy days, enough money to go on a solo holiday before 2020 ends. But at that time, we didn't know that we were going to have a pandemic, number one. Number two, none of these things happened in 2020. Oh no, in 2020, I did move into a new place with Milani. I wasn't able to pay off my credit card. I only paid off my credit card in 2022, but I did write it down as something that I wanted to do. Friday, January 2020, I wrote, it was a full moon apparently, so what I was manifesting was financial freedom. I want my children and I to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I want to be able to afford myself and my children without worrying. This was on the 10th of January 2020. And 2 years later, my children and I do live in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I want to be able to afford myself and my children without worrying. I do afford myself and my children. I do worry now and then. But, man, just reading this, something I wrote in 2020, and I'm living it. 2 years later, I'm living the exact thing that I wrote here. So, relationships. I want to have a great co-parenting relationship with both the fathers of my children. I wrote their names down. I want both my children to feel the love from their fathers. Whew. Unfortunately, this one is out of my hands, but the fact that in January 2020, before I even gave birth to Milani, I wanted her to have a relationship. I want to co-parent with these men, you guys. As much as I hate them and I hate what they've put my children through, my biggest dream is to co-parent well with people who are going to show my children love. But they have shown that they're not interested in that, so it's fine, we move. But it's something that I had down. I think this book is going to make me cry. This is still 2020. I'm going to pay off my Truett's account. So I had opened up an account at Truett's in 2019, early 2019 when my sister graduated. I think I just wanted to buy her like an outfit. I wanted to buy her something nice. And it was my first clothing store account ever. So I wanted to buy my sister, it was her first graduation. I wanted to buy her like the best. And I opened this account, but then I struggled to pay it off. I think I only paid it off so I opened in 2019. I think I only paid it off in 2021, if not late 2020. I'm going to pay off my credit card. Oh, guys, that credit card rocked me. I took that credit card in 2019 and I only paid it off in 2022. It rocked me financially. Like I'd pay it off, then get it back. Pay it off, then take from it. This year I paid it off and I used my YouTube money, paid off, and I called FNB. I was just like, Vala Leonto. And I'm glad I did. Woo! To make money through my blog, The Millennial Mom. So you guys, before there was a YouTube channel, there is a blog called themillennialmom.co.za. I'm not as active on it as I am on YouTube, but I wanted to make money from that blog, and God was just like, it's okay, you're not going to make money from the blog, but you will open a YouTube channel and you will make money from YouTube. So that's happening. I want to have a healthy relationship with myself, my family, my friends, my children, and everyone around me. And as mentioned earlier on when I was going through my vision board, that's exactly what I've done. Like, I've been extremely intentional about having healthy relationships and nurturing relationships with the people around me. I'm going to be the best mom I know how to be. And I am. You know what? I am. Life is rocking me and my children right now, but I am being and giving the best that I know how. So you guys, this was a month before I gave birth to Milani. I wrote this down and I said, you know what, my heart is still, I'm very overwhelmed by the new life. But I don't have anxiety over it anymore. For the first time in a long time, my soul is calm. I was extremely calm. I was ready for Milani. Like literally, I wrote this on the 4th of February and I gave birth on the 4th of March. I also say that I've left things to God and the universe and my ancestors. I know I'll be okay. I don't know how, but I know I'll be okay. and I'm looking forward to this new journey of being a mother to two. And everything that I wrote here has come true. My ancestors, God, the universe has had my back. I wrote here that I didn't know if I was going, how I was going to be okay, but I knew I was going to be okay. And you guys, literally, I am okay. On the 1st of August 2020, I've written what I was grateful for. I had both my children under the same roof. I still had a job and getting a full salary during a pandemic. I know a lot of people had salary cuts, a lot of people lost their jobs, so I'll always forever be grateful that I was able to keep my job with my full salary during the pandemic, and I even wrote it down there. And I was also grateful for the friendship and relationships that I had. I was manifesting an extra income, hopefully via my blog. At that time I didn't have a YouTube channel. I manifested Alwande to meet her dad and spend time with her father's side of the family. Unfortunately, that's something I have no control of, but it's something I literally manifested. It's literally here. And I also manifested Milani to spend time with her father and his side of the family, and unfortunately none of that has happened. But everything that I set myself out that I was going to do, that is in my control, I'm proud that I have. Unfortunately, I talk about this every time. The relationships with my children and their fathers, there's absolutely nothing I can do about that at this point. I've tried to make contact with them, I've tried to beg them, plead with them, they just don't want to. But I try to give my children everything that they can. Ooh, this is September 2020, and I said this time next year I am buying a 3-bedroom apartment for the children around North Riding. And also in September 2020, I was manifesting finding a good school for Alwande. I need her to be comfortable. And we did that. We did that in November 2021. And I was writing that it's been a while since I last came here. Basically, I was just saying that this was the 28th of November 2021. And I say, basically, I think now I was just writing. I wasn't manifesting anything, but I said I finally found and moved into the perfect place for my kids and I. Yeah, the kids are in Durban and I miss them terribly. I started a new job earlier this month and I think it's going well. Oh my God. I'm grateful for the grace that I've been given. I'm grateful for my mother and sister. I'm grateful for the support and love I receive. I am grateful. Oh my God. BRB. BRB. To think that on the 28th of November 2021, I moved in here in November. In this house, I found this house in end of October. No, I moved into this house mid-November. I found it end of October and, excuse me, I was like, I'll move in mid-November just because I didn't want anyone else to snatch it. There are videos where I was sitting at home back in Durban and I kept thinking in my head that I want a place where my children would play in the garden. And when I viewed this place, I was just like, this is perfect. I moved in and I think I wrote this, and literally everything that I wrote here was the truth, is the truth still. Even though I started the new job earlier this month and I think it's going well. This job literally went well up until my last 2 months there. Like I have no regrets about spending my time there. I learned a lot. I'm grateful for the grace I've been given. I do recognize how lucky I am. I do recognize how much grace I get from God, my ancestors, the universe, my friends, my family. Everyone around me is always giving me grace. I need to now learn to give myself some grace. But like literally everything that I wrote here is crazy. On the 12th of December 2021, I write, today is the last Sunday without my children. In exactly a week, I will be reunited with my kids and I'm beyond excited. I am grateful for my life, my kids, my family, my friends, the ability to make and live the life that I want, and the ability to create a good life for my children. This was the last time I wrote in this book in 2021. I usually write in this book when I am literally at my lowest, but that's not neither here or there. The whole point of me bringing this and this up is, as mentioned, it was sparked by a conversation that I had with my friends over the past weekend about how the year is ending and we feel like we haven't achieved anything. And then I asked my friend who said that, and I was just like, what did you want to achieve that you feel like you haven't achieved? And she said, I don't know. So I'm just like, there we go. we are so used to being so hard on ourselves that you're gonna say, and I haven't achieved anything, when you actually haven't sat with yourself and said, what is it that I actually wanted to achieve in 2022? But you didn't set any goals, and now why are you mad at yourself for not achieving any goals that you didn't set? So basically, I'm just trying to I'm not trying to be like Sarah Jacobs. What's her name? Is it Sarah Jacobs? TD Jakes' daughter. Sarah Jakes. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be like Sarah Jakes on you, but I do feel like my life, especially in the past 2 years, has been very like rocky, up and down. I've had every reason to, I feel, like some people will always tell you that, oh, there are people who have it worse out there, but it doesn't make my pain and my feelings not valid. It doesn't like invalidate my feelings. I feel like I've had so many moments where I could have given up and I wanted to give up on everything, but it's little things like these, like this vision board. It's so little and insignificant and stupid, but like I look at it and I'm just like, no man, you're doing okay. So yeah, as mentioned, I'm not trying to be Sarah Jakes, but I wanted to just show you guys from my perspective and my life, Uguti, these are the things that I've said. Some of them, it's only been 11 months. Some of them have been 3 years in the making. So don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. It's okay, you guys. We'll try this again next year. It has been a rough 3 years. The pandemic, guys, took a lot from us. It took our parents, our friends, it took our jobs. There's so many things that we lost from the pandemic. So we are literally still recovering. So this thing of us always being so hard on ourselves, when the fact that you're still alive and kicking, and the fact that you're still a present person, whether in your children's life or your family's life or your own life, it is that alone is hard. You I'm sure have had so many reasons to give up, but you didn't, and you're here. So don't be hard on yourself, and continue to take care of yourself, love yourself, and be proud of whatever growth that you have had. And if you feel like you want to do a vision board, please go ahead. I know a lot of people write, so hopefully you're one of those people who write your thoughts and your emotions down. But for me, this was my first time doing a vision board, and it's definitely not going to be the last. Some of the images here are going to be transferred into the next year's vision board, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not going to be that hard on myself for not meeting everything here. I've met at least 40% of the things here, and honestly, I'm proud of myself. It has been a rough year. I want to finish it on a high note. I want to finish it strong, but it's okay if I don't do any of the things here that I haven't done. Like, I'm okay with what I've done, and I'm putting it down, and I'm still gonna put it on my bedroom, but I'm just okay with it now. I am now looking forward to the future. I'm gonna read this one again. We must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. This is how I'm living my life now. I will obviously still have my goals and still put these things up, but I'm not going to be mad at myself when I don't achieve them, because something bigger is coming. Anyway, you guys, Amanda Jakes is out. I hope you enjoyed that little motivation. I hope you enjoyed my little bit of motivation. I hope I didn't sound too preachy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.